Thanks, Jerry. Now we're going to send it over to Kiki Brown from 107.3 The Beat here in Pittsburgh. She's standing by with one of tonight's special guests.
Thanks, Allegra. So let's talk a little about civic duty. Throughout 2020, the U.S. will conduct a head count of each and every person in the country. And this is the 24th time it's been done, and it's important for the Census Bureau to obtain accurate data. Here to tell us more about the census as well as the 2020 election is Pennsylvania State Representative Ed Gainey. Hi, Ed.
Hello, how you doing today? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's get right in.
Yes.
Census. Two big events that's taking place in 2020. One, we're going to focus on the census. What is the census and why is it so necessary?
Census is important because it determines what type of community development block dollars we get for the city of Pittsburgh. We also be able to determine the resources that we get. We know that we're dealing with a whole lot of different issues, whether that's housing, whether that's poverty and everything that comes with poverty. So everybody needs to be counted. In order to be counted, we need a census so that everybody knows, so that they know exactly how many people we have in our city and in Gainey County.
You mentioned being counted, and that's something we hear often when referring to the census. Why should everyone take part in the census, and why should we encourage others to do so?
Because it has a direct impact on our federal dollars. So we definitely want to be counted. And what I tell everybody is, listen, I know that some people, particularly in impoverished communities, say, hey, listen, I don't want to give my information because I don't want it used against me. And what I explain to them all the time, this is about a count for us to get resources. The more we're counted, the more resources we receive when it comes to poverty.
Okay. Now, the other big event that's taking place is the presidential vote this year.
Yes.
It's big, but we don't want to tell people how to vote. We want to tell them who to vote for, but we do want to encourage people to vote. Why should everyone vote, and why should we encourage, why should we tell them that every vote counts?
Because voting is a tool like everything else, and we've been able to use this tool well. I always tell people, particularly because we're in Black History Month, let's think about it. We came off of a boat. They said we were 3/5 of a man. They said that we couldn't pray, we couldn't own real estate, we couldn't go to school, we couldn't own land, we couldn't do any of those things. That we couldn't vote. And a lot of the rules and laws have changed because we voted. So when we talk about the tool of voting and what it's done for African Americans, this is why it's important to vote, because it's allowed a certain level of freedom to come to our community. Or where we need to be? No, but have we come a long way? Absolutely.
Before we wrap up, we have like 30 seconds. Is there any more information you want to provide if we have questions about roles of government and how we can get involved? What's that information that you can
Absolutely.
provide?
There's a lot of different organizations that you can get involved with, but you know, I can't give out my state office because we're talking politics. But at the end of the day, you can contact the NAACP, you can contact BPEP. There's a lot of organizations you can contact. Or when you see me, just ask me. But the number one thing we have to do, we have to get out here and vote. We need to make sure that the census know who we are so that we're being counted, because both of those are tools to make sure we have a better society.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me today.
When we continue,